Test, test, test. Hello, hello. Test, test, test. Adam, IT support.
Okay.
Test, test, test. Now it works?
Now it works.
Okay, fantastic. Now I've learned something new. So apparently sound goes off if you don't click add to stream. Okay, good. But I have not lost all of my viewers, my live viewers yet. So actually what I was saying, we're trying to say for the last 4 minutes, gotta love those live sessions, I have to say. So what I was trying to say over the last 4 minutes is that I have good news for you when it comes to changes in unemployment rates, comparing data from April 2020 versus April 2021. By the end of December last year, all European countries, the 29 European countries that do share unemployment rates, all of them had an increase in unemployment rates. Now, fast forward another 4 months, so by the end of April 2021, so over a time of 12 months, unemployment rate is only up in 19 countries as opposed to 29 4 months earlier. So the tendency is a positive one. Okay. When we look at the changes in the number of published job ads on LinkedIn during COVID-19, in other words, looking at the demand side for candidates, there were moments where the demand for candidates was down in all of the countries. Now, and this is amazing news and very good data, in 24% of the 24 countries out of the 29, LinkedIn job ads are up. And in 5 countries, it's still the level of published job ads on LinkedIn are still lower than at the beginning of the pandemic. But it's only 5 countries as opposed to almost all of them. So again, good news. Okay, good, we got this going. On this slide, what you see, let me double check, yes. On that slide, you see the demand for candidates, in other words, in Europe. So this is more than the 29 countries. It's all of the countries in Europe that we track. The most important thing here to notice is we have in Europe basically recovered. We are at the same level of job ads, even a little bit higher than when we started, which is good. When it comes to unemployment rates, you can, clearly see what's going on here. Overall, we have an increase of 0.8 percentage points. So went from 6% unemployment in Europe to 6.8% of unemployment. And once you combine the two tendencies, you can see what's happening. And it's very interesting to see how LinkedIn very often reflects and counter reflects what is happening, what is actually happening on the job market. So having chosen that KPI 15 months ago was actually a good intuition. So you can see starting March, unemployment rates go up, the number of job ads go down. So we have a perfect reflection. So overall tendency is positive. Only looking at the last 2 months, we have something that you would expect on a job market. The biggest increase in the number of unemployment rates was actually noted in Iceland. Iceland went from 4.6% unemployment to 9.1% unemployment, which is an increase of 4.5 percentage points, which is almost double, which I don't know about you, but I was surprised to see that. On the other hand, this is also something we track to understand. Does it mean, I did say there was a reflection in Europe, but because one might assume that, okay, if unemployment is up, demand for candidates is down. But we have learned over the last 14 months that this is not true for all the countries. Sometimes while unemployment is up, the demand for candidates is up. So there are very interesting dynamics happening, and usually you can categorize the countries into unemployment up, so supply up, demand up, supply down, unemployment. So there are different categories. So it's not automatically if one is up, the other goes down. So Iceland is an example of, although unemployment rates are up, the number of posted job ads are also up, meaning companies want to hire. There's confidence in the economy. In Italy, this is another country that was hit by unemployment more than other countries. In April 2020, unemployment was at 7.4%. Now, in April, it was at 11.9%, which means up by 4.5 percentage points. When compared to the number of job ads, you can see again, unemployment is steadily increasing when it comes to the demand side. So how many companies want to hire candidates? It has been a whirlwind in Italy. I do not envy anybody who is actively looking for a job in Italy. You see different patterns. Right now, the number of LinkedIn job ads is again decreasing, unfortunately. So here we are at a moment, LinkedIn job ads are decreasing while unemployment is increasing. Being an employee or candidate in Italy is not an easy thing right now. The biggest decrease in unemployment rates is Bulgaria. So in April 2020, unemployment in Bulgaria was at 5.6%. Now we're at 4.3%. So they have managed to decrease unemployment by 1.3 percentage points. When it comes to, and this is a beautiful, beautiful example of how the dynamics can work. While unemployment is decreasing, demand for candidates is increasing. So this is something that you maybe intuitively would expect. So well done, Bulgaria. Let's have a look at Poland. While unemployment in Poland through COVID times increased, it is back to, I don't want to say pre-COVID times, but early COVID times. So April of last year. When it comes to the number of published job ads on LinkedIn, so how many companies are hiring, overall, since the beginning of the year, there's a steady increase in the demand for candidates. I have to say that was last week we had a record-breaking 69 job ad gems for international candidates, international senior candidates, which are all signs that overall the job markets in Europe are moving into the right direction. Now let's have a look at Austria. Austria's unemployment was at 7.3% in April of 2020. Now we are at 7.7%. So that is a slight increase of 0.4 percentage points. When it comes to the demand side, in other words, how many companies are hiring, there has been a steady increase. So here, at least for some point, while the demand for candidates was increasing, the unemployment was decreasing. So very good. Right now, ever since March, we see both decreasing, but the trend overall is positive. Let's remember that. Germany is an important market in Europe. Unemployment from 4 to 4.4%. However, when it comes to the number of job ads on LinkedIn, you can see also very, very unstable, unpredictable, difficult to be a candidate in Germany over the last 14 months. Yeah, I don't envy candidates in Germany. Overall, I mean, you see the dips. We are now at about the same level of demand for candidates as at the beginning of COVID. The overall tendency is positive. So here I'd say, let's see what happens. Switzerland has managed to take control of their increase in unemployment, bringing it back to early COVID times from 4.6 to 4.6, which is good. When it comes to the number of job ads, here you can also see there's been some ups and downs, and again, a roller coaster. But here again, important to note, especially since the beginning of the year, unemployment goes down, demand for candidates goes up. So it's a good time to be in Switzerland and be looking for a job there. I see there is a comment. Oh, the comment says hi back. As you might know and remember, we not only track data to understand where is this going, what's even more so, we talk to the various CEOs, CFOs, COOs, CHROs, executive search consultants, and we ask what has changed in your organizations, what will change, how have you adapted. So we keep collecting market relevant in the moment quotes that we share with you on the go. What I found particularly interesting was how the HR directors that we knew would share with us their best practices, especially at the beginning and over the summer, of how they would handle the different waves of COVID and the layoffs, what plans they had. So it's really worth tracking what's happening. What's happening in terms of what kind of comments we were able to collect. So here, for example, one comment from the textile industry: we were forced to lay off a part of our team because of the decreasing number of clients. COVID-19 didn't influence our business potential, although our clients, in that case banks, have been a bit more cautious. On the other hand, the banking sector says we have been the only company in the group that hasn't noted any decrease in sales or energy because of the pandemic and home office. I feel like I'm constantly working. I lost my work-life balance. That might sound familiar with some of you and resonate with you. So if somebody were to ask, you or me in that case, is the job market really picking up? So let's have a look. As of June 2021, there is 1 million job ads more than before the pandemic. So check yes. 92% of the 38 European countries that we track have seen an increase in the number of published job ads. So it's another yes. And the unemployment rates have a tendency of decreasing. So instead of 29 countries with an increase in unemployment, we now are at 19. So we are back at the same level or even lower. So overall, those are good signs. But that doesn't mean yet that we're out of the woods, as they say. Most recent news from the last 2-3 months, Commerzbank has announced on May 11, 2021, that they will lay off 10,000 employees. Deutsche Bank will lay off 18,000 employees. Mitsubishi will exit Europe by 2023. Tesco and Aegon will exit the Polish market in 2021, which means overall, yes, but I wouldn't feel safe yet as a candidate to say, okay, now we're back, this is good. There are still some waves of layoffs happening. So it's good to be prepared, especially if you are in an organization that might take that step and use COVID sometimes as a pretext, let's face it, to say, okay, let's use that COVID wave and excuse to lay off 10-20% of our employees. So it's always good to have a plan B ready. Make sure to brush up your social media profiles, especially on LinkedIn. Make sure your CV is updated while you have access to information like how much you've achieved your KPIs in the past, etc. Because once you don't have access to that, it's difficult. It's sometimes difficult to reproduce those numbers or remember, okay, what was it exactly 3 years ago? Was it 1.7 or 2.3? So while you have access to everything, update your CVs. Take the summer for it, for example. There is one comment as I have applied for jobs. So here somebody has been applying for jobs for the last 1.5 years, but has not received any call from a recruiter. To that, let me see. This is for you. What has definitely changed is specifically over the last year and a half, the job market through COVID accelerating the trends, especially when it comes to technology. As a candidate, you have right now about double or triple the workload as opposed to 5, 6 years ago, which means as a candidate, you need to have two CVs, one for the direct contact with other humans, so recruiters, direct approach, your network. But then a lot of recruitment processes have been shifted to applicant tracking systems, including experienced managers and executives. Looking at the newest data from jobscan.co, 99% of Fortune 500 companies use applicant tracking systems in their recruitment processes. That's 99.99%. About 2 years ago, that number was 95. So we'll soon be at 100%. So if you apply to companies that are popular employers, you most probably will have to go ATS through the software, and softwares read CVs differently than humans, which means you need an ATS CV. We have a dedicated ATS guide on our blog that you can find in the search bar to see how you need to reformat your CV and adapt your CV to the job that you're applying to. So referring to the comment from the gentleman here in the chat, this could, in the comment section, this could be one of the reasons. Make sure you have a well-prepared CV. You can also ask Career Angels to review your CVs for free. We'll prepare a CV report for you. Then when it comes to the job hunting channels, up until about 2-3 years ago, it was more than enough to focus on the two most effective job search channels. That has completely shifted last year. As of last year, the distribution of efficiency has almost equally distributed across contacting headhunters, applying to job ads, direct approach, meaning making a list of companies and applying directly to your potential superior, so not to HR and not through the career website, and then networking. So if you've been struggling to find a job, this is another aspect you can review to say, have I really been doing all the channels the way you're supposed to work them? And then you have, last but not least, personal branding, which is, am I consistent across all the channels? Is my LinkedIn profile optimized? Do I have a personalized link? Do I have a background photo that reflects my profession? Do I have the right photo, etc., etc.? So this is also something that we have seen influencers who, I don't even want to say who gets hired, but who gets into even the recruitment processes. A couple of days ago, I was doing the hidden job market video for our hidden job market group on LinkedIn. And one of the job ads I chose to comment on was one that was for a global marketing role, where the company had 428 applications within 2 days. And of course, not everybody will be relevant and competent and fulfill all the requirements, but that means that if they leave it up another couple of days, that number will not be 428, but 600. And when a company has 600 applicants, there's a high chance that about 150 to 100 are really competent, relevant candidates. So they really can cherry pick, even through a job ad, they can cherry pick their candidates. And then small things like quality of photo, profile summary will influence the decision of whether to even include you in the recruitment process, not even saying hire you. So if you are in a managerial or senior managerial role, please don't forget your personal branding. If you're interested in having access to other special reports, over the last 14 months, we have distributed our special reports, so dedicated reports, as you can see, to the Americas, to the top 10 countries in Africa, the top 20 global economies, etc., to over 1,000 people. And the way that works, the special reports are first released live to our subscribers. The subscriptions are free of charge. So first I go to the subscribers, and then with a delay of 4 to 6 weeks, you can download those special reports from our website. On June 17, we will publish our European map, where you can see the comparison between LinkedIn job ads and unemployment rates, to have that at one site. I don't know about you, but I get really excited about nice looking infographics and maps and data. The Americas, that's already something I've mentioned. So you can go to careerangels.eu/market signals, where you can then download those special reports. We have also been asked by Experank, an HR tech company that is re-engineering executive search. We've been asked by them to prepare a dedicated report for the Nordics, so Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. So if you want to know particularly how that region is doing, you can also download that from our website. And I know some of you are listening, if you are a senior candidate, or you know a senior candidate who might need support and guidance, they need somebody to have a look at their CV or LinkedIn profile, or explain how the applicant tracking system works. So you can either request a CV report or a career consultation. Simply send an email to bichel.sandra@careerangels.eu, and then depending on your profile, I'll match you with the most relevant consultant in my team. To save time, please add your CV and availability for a Skype or Zoom call. Ideally, add some context so I know who and how to match you. On the other hand, if you are with an organization that plans layoffs, you can also ask us for an outplacement offer. You can email myself or my colleague at zadrozna.anna@careerangels.eu. What next? If you want more, we have a Udemy course that you will find under Career Angels, and the correct or full title is Every Step of the Job Search Explained, backed by research. You can find more information on our YouTube channel that is called Career Angels, Career Management and Job Search, and you can check back for our LinkedIn live streams. We want to do one more format of a live stream. So not only me reviewing what's been going on the job market, if it's a good moment to look for a job, or maybe it's better to stay put. We also want to do top live streams around topics that are interesting to you, have a Q&A session, something like a webinar, but a live stream. If you like what we are doing, you can help us. You can say thank you. You can help us fight the algorithms the way candidates need to fight LinkedIn algorithms. We have algorithms to fight on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, SlideShare, etc. So we've made a list of links that we feel we need the most support in, where to like, click, follow, subscribe, or you can simply say, hey, this is great what you're doing. I'd like to buy you a coffee. So if you want to know how you can support us and help us help others, go to the site careerangels.eu/how to thank us. I'll give it a minute and see if there are comments or questions from anybody who is listening. I'll also have a look at my IT support to see if there are any comments that might not be visible in my view here. Okay, no comments. I mean, I know it's Friday, and it's in most of the countries it's warm and there's sunshine. So for everybody who has joined in, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in about a month with the next update. Have a good weekend. Bye.